Hey, it's Frank from 40 Honeybee. A pretty big day at the bee yard today because I'm going to try to surgically split this walkaway split that I did. It made 6 queen cells for me that have been in there for about, I think we're at the 12-day mark now. So the thing is, it's 2 clumps of cells. It's one group of 2, which should be easy to split. That'll make 2 splits for me. The other is a clump of 4, and what I've decided to do is to split up the 2. That'll be 2 splits. Take the group of 4 and try to split that up so that I get at least 2 more splits. So that'll be 4 splits in total. That may mean that I need to sacrifice a couple of queen cells in that 4-cell clump. But it's risk versus reward. I'm going for the home run here, trying for 4 new colonies out of that queen because I wanted her to have more. And then we'll see how it goes at 40 Honeybee. I'm going to try to surgically remove the queen cells that were made. You can see I've already got that's my mating box ready. It's got 3 separate containers in it. Might as well start over there actually. I ended up just modifying a little bit. I put bottom entrances on different sides of the box. See that there's one there and one over here at the back. And I put top entrances on each one as well, figuring I can just close them if I want. But I like, in case it gets hot in there, I like the idea of 2 separate entrances / exits. And I guess I'll show you what it looks like inside. Got 1 honey frame in all of them already. And we're going to try to go 1 honey, 1 brood with a queen cell, and then 1 available for the queen to lay. Alright, so let's see how we do. I'll tell you what I got. I brought, for this extraction, I brought a cutting knife and a much thinner than a HIVE tool spatula. I'll show you here on this camera too. Knife and a spatula. And just you can see the spatula even has a little bit of a curve on it. So it's going to be nice to be able to get under the queen cells, I think, and get them out. And of course, you could use your HIVE tool for this, but I think you want something very sharp and you want something much thinner than a HIVE tool. So this is what I elected to go with. Let's see how it's going to work. The smoker is going, but just barely. If I don't remember to keep puffing it, I really jammed it full because I got a lot of stuff to do today. But if I don't remember to keep puffing it, it's going to go out. So remind me, keep puffing the smoker, Frank. Let me know. All right. The first one I'm going to do is that, hey bees, is that group of 2. And I think that should be the easiest one. Now I did mark them off here so that I know which frames I'm grabbing. I mean, this hive is still doing great. It's got a good number of bees, but when I take the resources that I'm going to take from it today, it's going to be weak. So I am going to add more bees to this hive. I'm going to take away the queen cells it's created. It'll be queenless again, and I'm going to put a couple more frames of eggs and make this my starter hive to make 1 more round of queen cells. It's getting kind of late in the year. It's late in June. What is today? June 28th, I think. But I figure I got to keep trying to make queens to increase my hives up to my maximum capacity for the year. It's a nice quiet hive. Like, these bees are not even buzzing. Okay, now I marked with an X here. You see that? That's where the 2 queen cells are side by each. And I should be able to split them. Okay, so let's hope that I can get this all on film. Let's get this nice and tight to those queen cells. All right, So there's a decent number of bees on here. Not a ton, but certainly enough to take care of the brood that was here. You can see I'm just going to slice right down the middle. It's a plastic frame, it's a plastic foundation. So I'm going to cut right to the plastic. You know, that one's almost ready to go. The one on my left here is pretty much loose already, so come on bees, get out of there. Come on. Come on bees. Get out of there. Get out of there. Okay, so let's see if I can get right down to the plastic here. Okay. Alright, that's pretty good. So there's one cell ready to go. So this one here that got left behind didn't actually budge at all, so that was good. It was anchored better than the one that I took, so that could not have worked out better. I'm going to put the queen cell facing out, and then I'll very carefully put one more blank frame in here. And this needs a lot more bees. I'll dump in a lot of bees into all three of these boxes. But there's the first one done. That's the easy one. This one's going to be the tricky one right here. Okay, so the next one is X. It was the second one. That's it right there. The second one from the end. A lot of bees on it, which is okay. There they are right there. You see that big clump there? Okay, now it's basically, I think I can get away with these two on the outside, maybe sacrifice this one in the middle, and keep the one on the left with the actual frame. Let's see. Again, it's a plastic frame, so I'm not able to cut through. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I think what I'm going to do is do a line right down here, then come around, scoop these two out, and see what I'm left with. Here we go. Here goes nothing. Hopefully you're seeing this. How's that? Right there. Now, if a little bit of I was going to say, if a little bit of royal jelly is spilled, that's not a complete game breaker, because let's go way up high here, because they'll fix it. These bees, these queens, are only a few days away from being released. Okay, so you can see I pretty much sacrificed this one for sure, this one probably. Yeah, so I'm ending up with two cells here. I'll leave the left one on this frame, I'll take that one, and that's how I get my 4 splits. But this one's not done yet. I gotta be really careful trying to pick this one up. Okay, I think it's almost free there. I'm just gonna come back to the top end. Okay, alright, that's got it. Okay, so I think this cell is still nice and viable. I'll take it and put it over here. Okay, now this frame with the one remaining cell on it goes to a split. That's kind of got 1.5. They might be able to fix that second cell. You see there's just a bit of royal jelly showing. I don't know though, it's pretty small to begin with and I've kind of deformed it a little bit. So the second cell will go in. Right here. So now we just have to bring over some more brood frames, and these guys are getting ready to rock. Okay, so we're back at my honey hive, which I thought I was gonna just leave to produce honey all year long for me, and I didn't. I've been taking resources from it like crazy. Also been trying out this, trying to get the bees to make me comb honey in these jars. They're in there. I don't see, yeah, they're drawing it out from the top, it looks like. But anyway, it's just for fun. If it works, great. If not, no biggie. But the one thing I didn't do is I didn't secure the jars to the top here, figuring they'd probably propolize it, and they have. So I'm just testing it here. So I just wanted to know how much leeway I have, because I got to lift this lid, which is probably going to be glued on pretty good, and I got to move the hive without dropping all those jars, right? So this is my first time doing it. I checked the jars and they seem to be on there pretty good. I'm gonna just move the base a little side to side so that it separates. That worked out all right. We got some smoke on these guys because they are doing great, which sometimes means they can be a little nasty. All right, so this is good. If I can just carry forward with this like so, not squish any bees, and not move any jars. All right, that worked out so far so good. Okay, so what I did was I brought up 3 frames of brood up on this hive to be able to take for the splits. I actually need 4 frames of brood. Hopefully these haven't hatched out yet. Let's see what we got. So far these bees are really quiet too. It's overcast and it's getting really dark to the west. So I'm a little concerned about that, because the temperature is nice. We got overnight rain, we got a bit of a shower this morning. But then the rest of the day should have been good for these bees to be out and about. Let's see what we got in this frame. Yeah, that's a nice brood frame, that's going. I'll take a quick look for the queen. The queen is marked and she should be down below and excluded, but you just never know. So this brood is just emerging now, and it's exactly what we want. We're gonna take one of our cells here, we'll take this little one, I think. Let's make a spot for it over here. Wow, tons of pollen in there. There it is. Just want to orient it facing down. And that's it. No more than that. Doesn't need any more than that. And that one is ready. Let's put it over. Now I'm going to put it in one that already has bees in it. Well, this one already has a cell in it, actually. Okay, not this one. I'll set this one over here. Should be fine. Okay, so let's see if I can grab one more brood frame, put the other queen on it, and then we're doing pretty good. Okay, here's another nice frame of brood. It's just hatching out. They're already backfilling it with nectar. Over here, same nice. So these are all nurse bees, and that's what we want in with the new hive, right? So we're gonna set this girl up here. Maybe on this side. Yeah, this side looks real good. Right over here. You want to make sure you always orient them the correct way, right? Okay, there's another one queened. Now, so we've got queens in all 4 of these, queen cells in all 4 of these. We need lots more, we need a honey here, and then another couple of empty frames, and then extra bees in all of them. So let's do this. Let's grab a honey frame from here. We'll take the bees with the honey frame, although they probably will end up all going back to this hive, because mostly these are foragers, right? But we got to take them anyway. Let's put this frame right here. Okay, that's pretty good. Decent number of bees in there. Now we had another frame of brood in here, and I'm going to take that right back to that other hive, the hive that we were just at, because it's a 4-frame hive. So might as well put 2 brood frames in. It will be really strong, and then we might not need to add any more bees to that hive. Let's see. Okay, this should be the 3rd brood frame that I brought for these guys. Yeah, this one's hatching out too. So it's really just an empty frame now, hatching out brood. Okay, this is going to go into the 4 box right here. It's good. And then for this one, it's got a pretty good number of bees on it, but I still will shake some more bees in there. But right now it's looking pretty good. So this box needs 3 frames. Actually needs just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 frames. 3, 4, 5. Oh, we took the honey one. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So I'm going to keep this as a 9-frame box because they're doing such a nice job of making me really nice wide honey frames. That's what I want here. And just going to put a few more empty frames in there so they can keep filling it out. Okay, so here's the frame. Yeah, lots of this stuff is hatched out. It's just hatching out now, which is perfectly fine. I'm going to take this to be the 4th frame on this split here. Actually, no, this has already got 2 brood frames, so this is going to be, it's kind of thin for brood. Yeah, I'm going to bring this one here and pretty much consider this hive done. I'm not going to shake any more bees into this one because it's got a lot more than the others. I'm going to give this a pollen patty, and then we can consider it done. Okay, so I'm going to go through a couple more frames here to see if I can find the queen, because I know I've got brood pretty much from the 2nd frame on end that I can take nurse bees for, but I'd really like to find the queen first, so that I know she's safe, and I know I'm not going to take her to these splits. So let's see if that works out. There's the queen right there. See her? Let's see if I can see her laying an egg here. You see the queen marked green? I'd like to see her lay an egg. She moves slowly and methodically. Okay, let's try and cage her up. And then I will take a couple more frames. That should be better. Oh, she's in there now. Okay, queen. Just set her down over here for a sec. And let's get some eggs. Okay, so this hive is back together. I took a lot of resources from it. But you know, I needed to. Here is now the new starter. So that's got 2 frames of eggs in it. I would have liked to have done more, but that's what it's going to get. Let's see what it's going to do. That's the way. You get squished. You stay there, you get squished. Come on, come on. Okay. So this one is done. We'll do some notes on it. Now I've just got to finish up my finishing box here, which you see has a decent amount of bees but still missing 1 frame. I want that frame to be drawn out. So I'm just going to go to another hive and grab a drawn out frame. So here's a frame of just drawn out comb. It's got some honey in there, which they've got plenty of honey. Not worried about that. I've got some work to do on this. Let's make sure the queen isn't on here. It's a blue marked queen. How do you see? Do you see this all right? How's that? Just going to try and space them a little bit. There's not much room for space. Not much room for the Holy Spirit in here, but look at all those bees. Alright, so now I'm just going to try to knock some of the bees on this basically filter box that I had. I'm just going to try and brush them in so it's a little less obtrusive. These bees have been through a lot today. Again, most of these should be nurse bees, so they shouldn't really want to fly much. But okay, also going to get some patties on there. And we won't put an inner lid on that. Hold it somewhere else. Okay. Got some pollen on here for these guys. These are going to stick up. Still way too high. Oh well. Let's get some smoke on them. And put their inner panels on. And then close them up. Get a big one for these guys. Not on the outside. I'm going to try and scoop some in. There, guys, get in there. I'll figure it out soon enough. Okay, here's one panel. Here comes number 2. Watch out, guys. Come on, get in. Just trying to squish down the pollen patty there. And the last one here. Come on, guys, let's go. Let's go. Get out. Get out. Gonna get squishied. There we go. Okay. So now I got 3 panels down. Put the outer lid down. And let these guys sit for a while. Wow. That was quite the ordeal. And it ain't over yet. Okay, so we'll try and do a final rundown on everything that happened here. It was a big day, as I knew it was going to be. First and foremost, this, the new finisher box, is full of bees. Each box has 1 queen cell. One has 1.5. You can kind of see there's good activity at the lower entrance. Each box has a lower entrance and an upper entrance. And they're pretty jammed with bees. Got a good number of bees in there, you see? Tried to balance them out as best I could. Sorry about the zoom issue there. So these queens are due to emerge in about 4 or 5 days. July 3 there. Here we got a 4-frame nuke with 1 queen cell in it, and it's doing really well. This is probably the one that seems to have the most foragers. You can see a lot of bees coming out, doing these little orientation flights, and they're probably eventually heading back to their original hive. Most of which was this hive. So this hive that I didn't want to touch, I just wanted to let it produce honey. I took a lot of resources from that. I took about 4 frames of brood, and I took at least another 4 frames of nurse bees. I found the queen. She's in there doing well, producing a lot of honey, but I thinned it out just now. And then I was set to take more bees from this hive because it was doing really well. But I opened it up, and was it this one? No, it was this one. This one. This one was doing really well. It was my first walkaway split. But I went in it, and sure enough, it had swarmed. I found a new queen in there, though. I found a virgin queen. They had 3 swarm cells. I found them all. A supersedure cell and 2 swarm cells. And so they made their own queen. She's in there. Looks like she's virgin. Didn't see any eggs yet, so we'll give her a couple weeks, and then we'll go in and see how she's doing, and maybe do a video on marking a queen. So it's a shame that I lost that colony. That colony was one that I was set to take resources from for the walkaway split because it was doing so well, but it was doing that well that it took off. So we'll settle things down now, and hopefully that walkaway that I did for this hive ends up in 4 more hives. We'll see. It's a risk, but I know those cells look good, so hopefully a nice queen will come out of them. Here I ended up putting 2 more entire frames, which is probably closer to 3 or 4 frames worth of eggs from that hive, because I found them. They're in good shape. That by far is the healthiest hive. So hopefully if everything works out here, I've got an almost even split of at least 2 different genetic lines in this apiary, which is what I want. I mean, it looks really different than it did at this time last year. At this time last year, I had 3 or 4 hives. Now, I'm basically pushing, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not a hive yet. 8, 9, and then 3 there, so 12. So, trying to get up to about 16 for the peak of the summer, then dwindle it down to 10 if I need to, heading into winter. So for now, let's let these guys rest for a couple of weeks and see if we've made new queens on 40 honeybee.